Baton Rouge Mayor Sid Edwards sat down with us today to look back at what he says has been a rocky but sometimes smooth road. His first year in office, he admits his administration perhaps could have done a better job at communicating their message. And the mayor says he did not spend enough time on his big three priorities, promising to change that next year, tackling safety, blight, and the homeless situation. I guess here at the end of the year, we're kind of looking back on things. With all the things that have happened, you don't have a lot of luxury to look back. What is next? What can we expect with some of the dire straits that we're in?
I always tell people I want to be referred to as coach. I'm still coach, and I still am. But I'm also the mayor president. And let's call it a one-year indoctrination into that. And I'm looking to do some bold things in 2026. I'm pivoting a little bit. I want to get more on the streets. You know, I want my boots on the ground out there. I want to be doing the work that's meaningful to our citizens, in particular the common man. So, you know, I've started my little notebook, and during the little break I get, if there's such a thing, kind of documenting on a time frame what I want to get done and when. I'm more excited now than I was after the inauguration last year.
Even after the tax failing?
Oh, absolutely. Because when you look at it, it didn't fail, so people will call it a loss, right? Well, it wasn't a loss for the 51% of the people who didn't want it. They spoke, they won, right? And we got that thing inside the 10-yard line, and I truly believe there was a political influence on it that fought against it, that they didn't want to give me a win. But I'm not built that way. I don't think that way. This wasn't for me. It was for the people of Baton Rouge. There also were some folks that anything with the word tax in it, you can forget it. And I respect that. That's their view. Because you also had some folks that are tired of taxation and getting nothing for their money. They're being taxed, and what is there to show for it? And I might have been that person had I been on the other side of the fence and not in the mayor's seat.
You had to do some of the layoffs. I can only imagine that is kind of tough, especially at the end of the year, getting close to the holidays.
That might be the worst, minus when we lose a citizen to a violent crime. It's hard. I was that person. You know, as a teacher and a coach, my wife a teacher, we never had money. We never made a lot of money, and we lived paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of these folks are in that same exact situation. And that's hard. So I asked myself, well, what can I do to potentially help them? We're going to tee up a job fair in January, mid-January to the end of January, with industry and other business people all that come together for some of these folks that will lose their job to try to help them out. But I can tell you that's difficult. I mean, we certainly in the city has some fat to trim. You know, there were some bloat. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's someone's job.
You know, you came into this, as you said, as a football coach, and now you're, you know, the highest office in the parish. Over this last year, have you ever looked back and thought maybe that you bit off more than you could chew?
Not one time. Now, let me say this. There were times during the campaign when I was on the debate stage, and they would ask me questions, and I would say, please don't ask me no infrastructure question. I don't know. I mean, that's Fred Rayford. I don't know nothing about that. So I always hoped that one of my opponents would get the question first, and I could play off of it, right? But now that I'm in it, I don't have a ton of talents, but one of them is I listen and I learn. I don't think I'll be in a haunted house anymore, meaning that I'm walking through year one and I don't know what's behind every door. I don't know what's behind this curtain. The distractions. I have been indoctrinated this year. So my deal is getting off of defense and going to offense. There's still division in our city. And I can tell you, coaching football, if I had 80 kids on a team, there were many of my teams at Redemptress and Central that you guys covered, that the racial split on those teams was 50-50. But we all came together as one. So if I was at Central High School and our colors were maroon, we used to always preach, what color? No, we're maroon. There was no black, no white, no Democrat, no Republican. Man, maybe I'm naive, but I think that's what I want for this city. You can be Democrat, you can be a Republican, you can be white or black or Catholic or Baptist. But I have this dream to be one Baton Rouge, to be as one and understand each other and at least take the time to try to understand the other side's point of view. And that, you know, and I'm going to work on that daily, one bite at a time. I'm going to try to be in all the spaces, and I'm going to try to go to where the people are. You know, here again, I got distracted. I didn't get to do as, I was more at galas than I was in the neighborhoods, you know, and I want more of that. There was some, before I came in, Greg, there was some worry about, can I do it? That was there. But now that I'm in it, unequivocally yes. And I'm looking forward to doing it.